I want to broach a difficult subject today. Just how difficult and painful for me this is going to be, you'll discover later. See, I've always been an inveterate news hound. I love keeping up with good journalism and astute commentary. And especially, of course, when it comes from the point of the political spectrum which I occupy myself. I mean, who doesn't like reading or hearing other people endorsing their firmly held, but no doubt well-reasoned opinions, especially if they're clearly intelligent, well-read people? A member of one of my local churches once said to me, did you see that article in the Telegraph about the... Oh, no, wait, Alan, you strike me as more of a Guardian reader. You won't have seen it, will you? Now, I don't know really what offended me most. The fact that he had me stereotyped as what in private he would no doubt have labelled as a pinko, Guardian reading, lefty liberal, just to cover all the bases. Or the fact that he was right. At that point, I'd never read the Daily Telegraph. I'd only very rarely read the Times, and even now the only use I can see for the Daily Express, the Sun, the Daily Mail, the Star, or the People will be when the fuel runs out during the current crisis and we woolly liberals have to cook our tofu and falafel on an open fire in the garden. But anyway, from that point on, I decided to swallow my pride, put aside my distaste and dip into the Telegraph and the Times. Well, so long as it's the free internet articles. I mean, I draw the line at actually putting even more money into the coffers of Rupert Murdoch and the Barclay brothers. But I thought I'd do that to try and appreciate and read articles written by people whose opinions I frankly disdain, whose politics, well, I honestly deplore, but whose arguments, well, I appreciate. I have to tell you that it's hard work a lot of the time, or should I say a lot of the times. But I persevere. But the reason I've been thinking about this sort of thing recently is because of what I've been reading and viewing on the internet, emanating from the person currently holding the highest office in the land in the United States. I hesitate to use the title President, because a more unpresidential person it would be difficult to encounter in a day's march. Mr. Trump has been spending the last several weeks, when he can drag himself off the golf course, in doing his best to deflect responsibility for his country's lamentable lack of preparedness for the COVID-19 pandemic, and by relabelling it the Chinese virus, he's managed to target his dark state conspiracy theorists and his fan base against an exterior nation. It's a kind of classic old political move. Trouble at home, start a war abroad. Trump's worldview is predicated on the idea that every other nation in the world is either a supplicant of the United States or a threat to the well-being of the United States. That life, whether it's the life of a person or the life of a nation, is always a zero-sum game. And his evaluation of a person or a nation is always cast in expedient terms. For Trump, the question is always one of two. The first, and always foremost, is this: is this person useful to me? The second is contingent on the first. If this person is not useful to me, are they a threat to my well-being? If the answer to both those questions is no, then Trump dismisses the person out of hand. And the truly frightening thing is that Trump operates with the same lofty attitude as Louis XIV of France. L'État, c'est moi. The state is me. And treats nations and even constituent states of the United States itself in much the same calculating, dismissive way as he treats people. He actually responded to a cry for help from a state governor who happens to be a Democrat. If he isn't nice to me, I don't call. A response which neatly sums up his own narcissistic attitude. If nations can truly be said to have character in the sense of common traits and common attitudes, I have to say that such an attitude is not one which sits comfortably either with English, British sensibilities, nor with what I've experienced as American ones. Why? Because it's dependent on the kind of tribalism for the sake of which both our nations have been in the past torn apart, and which both on a national level would do well to reject. If COVID-19 has taught us anything, it's surely that disease does not recognise either borders or nationality, neither gender nor race. As we are rediscovering painfully, we are one human race, and in the face of this crisis, unless we identify as that one human race above all other stereotypes and identifiers, then we have no future on this planet. Or as Benjamin Franklin, the American revolutionary memory put it, we must indeed all hang together, or most assuredly we shall hang separately. Well, that's fine and highfalutin, but it fails to acknowledge that tribalism doesn't begin and end at national or international level. If we're going to change the way that nations behave, it has to begin locally. And even more focused than that, it has to begin with each one of us. Because in different ways, we're all tribal. We're all capable of building barriers between us and others who are not us. Whether it be through our taste in music, or the arts, or sport. Now, most people who know me know that I lay claim to my Welsh ancestry with all my heart. But this identifies me not just as Welsh, but as English too, as it means grown in England from Welsh roots. This tells you, if you didn't know already, that I count myself blessed not only to be Welsh, not only to be English, not only to be European, but to be a fervent supporter of Tottenham Hotspur, who are, without doubt, in the words of Sir Jimmy of Greaves, the finest team in England. But now I'm going to do something different, something I've never done before, and something I can assure you I will never do again. This is the weirdest feeling. For those watching in America, this is like asking a Red Sox fan to wear a Yankees uniform, but worse. Now, I have several friends who are fans of the other team in North London. They are, on the whole, fine people. No doubt our hospitals and our care homes and our social services are laced with fans of the other team in North London and all other football clubs, and none. We loathe sport and we love it. We are Christian, we are Muslim, we are Buddhist, we are Sikh, we are Jewish, we are Hindu, we are Jain, we are atheist, we are American, European, African, Asian. But above all these things, we are human. No barriers, no borders, no false claims of superiority or exception. Richly blessed by thousands of languages and cultures, but one humanity. A humanity gifted to us, those of us with faith believe, by our Creator. And if we have no faith, at least we can recognise that one true humanity. We don't have time anymore for barriers or borders or petty squabbles, or deciding that one or other of us is superior to another innately for any reason. We are one people. Whatever shirt we wear, whatever colours we sport, whatever colour we are, whatever religion we hold to, and none, we are one human race. No time for jingoism. No time for exceptionalism. No time for pretending that one nation is more blessed by God than any other. No time anymore other than to recognise our common needs, our common humanity, and the love which pervades us all, and is the only thing in the end which can bind us together truly. One people, one hope, one future. For the future that we look forward to now is one which must break down borders, must break down barriers, must recognise our common humanity. Now, I've really got to stop and get this off. I'm feeling a bit queasy, to be quite honest. And I'm also worried that I might get used to it. Have a good weekend. Stay safe.